That dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings
The concentration of primordial?
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find him. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took, and so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, and with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners, but as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be to be frank, not really. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results.
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lord.
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you warned us?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work. Good. Saves me a bit of time. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite.
You want to blow?
What a lovely idea.
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical...
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure?
Your Grace, I am not in.
If I dated her, I'd officially be
Jeez, forget I said anything. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before.
How much do you know about Fontanian history? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to, according to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a gold. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling
There's a ship in the story too.
where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be
Do you believe that too?
to a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate,
Were you inspired by the legendary
maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never... Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for now. No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it.
Great. I look forward.
We're back!
Welcome back.
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the...
Must have been Risley and Sishwin.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so...
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also busy.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea.
Whoa, he's good.
That's our Linny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while if I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but...
You're super
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has some... that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea.
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. The two of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys
You're incredible.
Yeah, you two are always telling me not to push. Too slow.
quit following me.
Too slow.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Siege? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's. Huh. You're right. What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too! Don't forget. No problem. Just... so delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to... Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Sigewine, do you do this to help your patients or to better a bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want... You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you... Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. Thankfully, Colorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Colorand left, to make sure that Linny... Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only... Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger. You are all super... It's just what we do down here at the fortress. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often, too. I feel... Get a good night's rest, you two. How's dinner?
It's all right. Miss Sijwin really put in a...
So we heard that Brisley invited you to come down to help, and
Oh, it was
still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke?
Miss Sijwin was with you. And the Duke has business...
Actually, didn't Navia say that you and...
Yeah,
First time in a long time.
in the past. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here. Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon.
Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow.
So much has happened. I'm super sleepy. Delicious.
Out of my way! Get... What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Uh-huh. What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, what? What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all this?
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it...
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away...
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Too slow.
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible. Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards.
Quit following me. Unsightly insects!
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time Will do. You have my...
Too slow. Quit following me.
Look! There are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there! Are you two the Traveler and Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be—
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you, that—
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat—
well, in any—
Oh, and—
Because,
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
well?
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves, unless he pranced right out of the main— Ah, that is good news at least.
His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long...
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a...
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how...
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of...
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack...
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be out...
I was under the impression the residents of a place...
That was obviously a... Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend...
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long...
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the...